Okay. And I'm speaking to?
Juan Rodriguez, campaign manager for Kamala Harris.
And sir, I guess I have to ask, what brings you to Reno today?
Nevada is a really important state in the primary process, and it's a state that we've made sure that we put resources on since the beginning of this campaign. And I wanted to stop by Reno. I'm going to Southern Nevada tomorrow, and just kind of on a tour. She was here last week, and it's just part of the process to continue to building out our infrastructure.
And that being said, coming out and trying to build the infrastructure needed for the February caucus, what's so specific about, what's the focus of Reno about?
Listen, I think you can't take, part of the theory of our case is that you can't take any part of this country, any part of the region for granted. I think, a lot of folks just centralize and focus on Clark County,
right.
But Northern Nevada is prime for a lot of, interest this election cycle. So for us, it's been important to make sure that we have an office and a base down here, have organizers on the ground, and then just reaching out to folks. I think that there's a lot of enthusiasm and desire to make sure that we send a nominee onto that general election that can take down this administration and everything they stand for. When they stand for division, we stand for unity, and that's who Kamala Harris is. And being out of Northern California is, I think, key to that strategy for us.
And I'm glad to hit that because, Senator Harris happens to be our next door neighbor, the senator from the state next door. How's that been? Do you think that's an asset to you guys going into this at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an asset. I think, but the reality is that there is a rich culture in Nevada of Nevadans and understanding their caucus process. So I think for us, we learned that front and center. We spent some time campaigning here in 2018 for the great Senator Jackie Rosen, who ended up getting elected.
Yes.
But we also were here for Ford and other people that were on that ballot. So I think that there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of folks. There is an advantage of being close, but I think the advantage is on kind of the people in Nevada and the diversity of experience that we've built in the campaign.
And flowing from that, I know, looking at polling data, I know recently we've had some polling data that's come out that's, put you guys, you're top five, but puts you guys in the neighborhood, which presents a bit of a challenge. How do you plan to overcome that challenge right now? And how do you plan to take advantage of the fact that there's a huge swath of undecideds out there in the caucus process?
I mean, I think you just said it right there. The fact that the majority of voters are still, relatively undecided. I think it's a difficult thing for people to feel largely committed to one candidate in a race of 20 plus people, right? So I think the advantage is that there is still a lot of folks that we need to continue to do outreach, which is why we're making sure we are constantly on the road. She's in Southern California right now. She was in Reno last week, and then she's going to be back to Iowa tomorrow, and then continuing our swing. I think for us, it's making sure that we're leaving no stone unturned. And as people begin to get involved with the caucus process, making sure that we are engaging them, they know what locations are going to be. And frankly, and this is true in Iowa, it's true in Nevada, there are a lot of first-time caucus goers that are going to be part of the process, and educating on what the process is like is actually one of the fun parts of the campaign.
And flowing from that, I know your campaign is probably one of the few campaigns having some really big surrogates, or at least more surrogates than other campaigns in Nevada so far that have endorsed you. Are we to expect any new endorsements, any new surrogates to come out here in the near future?
Yeah, I hope that your paper endorses, and I hope that all these other papers that are analyzing the race endorse. So I'm looking forward for that moment. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the great things about being able to have surrogates come into town is Kamala Harris has such a huge body of work on a variety of issues that being able to have people that have worked with her and been on the front lines on taking on big banks, taking on transnational criminal organizations, when she's passed laws in California or has done stuff as a senator, it's great to get them engaged with organizers, and there's nothing like being on the ground and catching that enthusiasm, so we'll continue to do that.
Great. And I didn't mean to laugh at you about the endorsement concept. I just
so you're saying it's happening? Okay.
Put
that on the record.
You put me on the spot there too. But nevertheless, it's something we don't try to do. But I appreciate the offer, though. Thank you, though. But it is something considered, though. I will give you points for appealing to that.
Hey, listen, I got one job, and that's to make sure that people come on over and endorse Kamala Harris. So
I appreciate you're good at it. So I'll give you that. You're good at making the sales. So I'll give you that. In closing, I wanted to say or ask. Is there anything else you'd like the people of Northern Nevada or Nevada to consider to know about Senator Harris, your campaign, what your efforts are looking like, and what the plan of attack will look like going forward?
Yeah, the thing that I am most excited about over the next couple of weeks, and as we head over the caucus process, is that people will begin to, not only get more engaged in this race, but have an opportunity to evaluate the candidates, not just what they're saying on the campaign trail, but what they've done their entire career. And I think when voters and people that go to caucus have an opportunity to see what Kamala Harris has done, I think that they will see someone who is, a strong nominee, not just to take down this administration and hold these folks accountable, but to unite the country. Unite the country on these issues that kind of bring us together and get more people activated. And that is something I'm looking forward to. And until that moment comes and, caucus reaches that day in Nevada, that we're going to be knocking on every door, making phone calls, and excited about the turnout potential in Nevada.
So you guys sounds like you're focused on field operation and a messaging team operation to appeal to my neighbors.
That's exactly right. Couldn't have said it any better.
I'll take that.
All right.
Juan, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And this ends my interview with Kamala Harris campaign director or campaign manager Juan Rodriguez. And